Paris. Today we go to the Grand Palais Ephémère with Juergen Teller for a visit to the huge, colossal retrospective of his work.
It's for everyone.
Nothing is ready yet. We're the first to visit, the photographer who redefined fashion photography. How does Juergen Teller do it? We have the answer.
A lot of thinking involved.
3 decades of cult images. It's like looking at old friends. Good friends, disturbing friends, beautiful friends. Cheno Corner, Kurt Cobain, Saint Laurent models, Victoria Beckham, Deauville Drizzt, his wife and creative partner, Iggy Pop and Iggy, his daughter, Vivienne Westwood, Björk. Juergen Teller gives us all the good anecdotes.
I've walked how many kilometers every day? 10 kilometers.
The stories behind the stories.
I just do it.
The Cecil Beaton of grunge, the Irving Penn of today? No, it's the unique Juergen Teller. Don't miss the colossal Juergen Teller retrospective at the Grand Palais Ephémère. I need to live.
I love this picture. I love all the pictures actually.
Hello, I'm Loic Prigent. Subscribe to my channel to see everything about fashion, but also cool museum visits to enhance your mood board. Leave a comment about your favorite Juergen Teller photograph or lots of Zen emojis. Cheers!
Hello.
Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour.
Julien, Jean-Nicolas.
Bonjour à tous.
The exhibition is called Juergen Teller, I Need to Live. From above, it's a cross.
This is the last puzzle on the wall to
Is
solve.
it? Ah, yes?
Well, this is all clear, apart from this. This is all clear what we're doing. Everything we know what we're doing. This is the last.
The Grand Palais Ephémère is a big space to fill.
Did you look around?
Yes, a bit, a teeny bit. I want to do it with you.
Oh. I've walked how many kilometers every day? 10 kilometers.
That's why you look so trim.
Yeah, we should do that more often.
The image maker, always wearing a touch of neon, had a touch of neon featured in his scenography. Is that your signature?
Yes. No, it's not my signature.
Okay.
The signature you wouldn't be able to read. But it's my writing.
Why did you choose this color?
Because I wear a lot of pink. That's why I chose it. And I kind of wanted to exaggerate certain points. When you're here, it's like a laser beam. And I think it's really pretty.
Just like your beanie.
Yeah, that's why.
Who is the exhibition for, you think? It's at Christmas time in Paris. Everybody has free time.
It's for everyone.
It's your biggest ever?
It's my biggest exhibition here.
Did you have to ask yourself a lot of questions during the process of this exhibition?
Yes, for 2.5 years.
2.5 years?
I've been working on this, yeah. And of course, how does he do it? It's a lot of thinking involved. And then reacting very fast and being psychologically quite sensitive towards the subject of what's possible and what's maybe not right for this person. And you have to be really fast, adapting to a situation. And that's how I do it.
The exhibition starts from this zero, which is a photo of Juergen Teller as a newborn by his father, then the suicide of his father, then his mother between the teeth of a crocodile.
It's a rephotograph of a newspaper which shows my dad's suicide. And when you go all around the exhibition, then Deville and me, we get married, we have a child, a baby, and it's basically, you can either choose the way of what my father did and the positiveness of what I do, you know, and I want to live, I need to live.
The third picture, can you tell me about it?
Oh, that's my mother. That just shows the complex relationship between my father and my mother and the absurdity of life and the horror of life and the grotesqueness and the funniness as well, in a way. It was actually my mom's idea. She said, don't come too close when you take some pictures, and I start to photograph, and she says, oh, don't come too close. And then after 3 clicks, she says, oh, you got it now. And I thought, I haven't even started yet. But then we kind of became more playful with each other and everything. And then she says, you know what? One of our neighbors has a stuffed crocodile in the house. And I said, what? In our village? And she says, yeah, come. So she showed me this, and then she put a face through it, and I photographed it. So she was a companion within that photograph.
Do you owe her your sense of humor?
Yes, could well be.
What's the name?
Irene.
Irina?
Irene. Now she does, but she never really took me serious as a photographer as such, you know, that it's a profession. When in some sort of funny magazine like Bunte or Hello or something like that, you know, a photograph appears of when I photographed Elton John or something, then it's like, oh yeah. But I sold the series Irene im Wald, which is my mother in the forest. I sold it to the Pompidou, and she's like, what? Why would they want to buy this? and I was like, well, I sold it for this and this much money. And he's like, what? You know, so it's this kind of relationship you have as a child to your mother, you know, that they don't necessarily, if I would be a lawyer, they would, you know, she wouldn't know anything about it. She would take me serious.
And then his first works, these resounding photos of Cheno Corner in 1990.
And as I started with photographing a lot of musicians and doing record covers, this is a Cheno Corner, the single Nothing Compares to You.
How old were you when you took that picture?
I think it's in 1990 or something like that. So I must have been 26.
So it's the beginning of your career?
Kind of. And it was very funny because I had really cropped short hair like her. So we looked in a way quite similar. And I'm really happy and proud of the wood, the solution of the wood, because I come from the forest. I grew up in a small village next to the forest. And it would be wrong to have white walls or something. And I wanted to read it like a film, like a book, like a symphony, where it's a beginning, a middle, and an end.
And his photographic report on Nirvana's first tour in Germany in 1991. What's the story of this picture?
I went on tour with Nirvana.
Kurt Cobain carried away by fame, engulfed by the crowd. We don't know if it's a portrait of Kurt Cobain or his generation.
I met them in Heathrow, and we went to Berlin, to Hamburg, Frankfurt and Munich. And it was an extraordinary experience for me to be traveling with them and to be going to their sound checks. For the first ever time I heard Nirvana, never heard of them before, and listening to their music in sound check, and a couple of hours later, after the sound check, you go to the concert, and it was just it made a huge impact on me. How much energy and brilliance they had.
How was it to shoot Cheno Corner?
It was good.
It was before stardom for her.
Yes, Kurt Cobain too. You know, they were very shy, and I'm very shy too. But people ask me, how is it to shoot this person and this person? It's always different. Everybody is different, and you have to use very careful psychological tools to assess that person, what would be good, how to photograph this person. And every time is very different.
Juergen Teller's advertising campaign for fashion houses are famous.
This is an important work for me too, the work I did for 17 years with Marc Jacobs.
Do you think it's Victoria Beckham?
It is.
Is it?
It is.
How do you work with him?
Well, it started when Marc asked my girlfriend at the time to work with, and we just had our daughter, and he was very interested in working with her, and he made it all possible because we just had our daughter, and we all flew over to New York, and she was styling the show and preparing it for weeks, and we became friends, Marc and me. And he asked me whether I'm interested in photographing his campaign, and he said, "I'm sorry, there's no money involved." And it was an advertising with Kim Gordon, and I said, "I only would do it if I'm completely in control of the layout, and that means also the size of his logo, and whether it's an upright picture or how big the frame is, or whether it's a double page and things like that." William Eccleston and Charlotte Rampling photographed by Juergen Teller, or Victoria Beckham photographed by Juergen Teller included. And back at the time, fashion magazines did not look like this. They were all very messy, and everything was a double page, and everything was loud. There was nothing which you could rest your eye on and really concentrate on that photograph. And you could read very carefully what's written, and fashion magazines were all really loud. And now a lot of magazines look like that.
Today, he collaborates with Yves Saint Laurent and his artistic director Anthony Vaccarello for high-impact campaigns.
This is some work I did for Saint Laurent.
How did you work with Anthony Vaccarello? Is he present on the shoots?
Yes, very.
Oh yeah? He comes to the shoots?
Yeah, very, from the beginning to the end.
Ah ouais?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a say in the picking of the models? In the casting of the models?
I have a certain say in it, but I really like his hard work and his incredible preciseness of what he wants. And I trust him completely with the way he chooses models. And sometimes I say, oh, maybe this one could be good, or this one could be good, or whatever. But otherwise, I'm completely happy with it. And I'm really enjoying working with him because it's very difficult, but it's very, because he knows so much what he wants, and for me sometimes it's very difficult to achieve it, but I like his naivety, which I recognize in myself, of achieving something which is kind of maybe not possible, but we work so hard on it and we work together on it. He's always next to me when we do, and then before, of course, we discuss it where we do it, and afterwards, and it's a really excellent collaboration. I really enjoy it.
There's a monumentality in those pictures.
It's really driven by the clothes, you know. It makes complete sense of what we're trying to achieve and what we're doing.
Juergen Teller explores a reaction to his pictures through letters of angry magazine subscribers and also kids recreating his pictures.
Here are the reader letters, comments about my work I did for the Zeit. Yesterday when I opened magazine number 51, I felt sick. What is that photo on page 8 supposed to be? Is it supposed to be aesthetically pleasing? Is it supposed to be art? I would greatly welcome not to have to see such photos in the color supplement in the future. It goes on and on and on. It's genius.
Do you see them as compliments in a way?
No, I don't see them as compliments. I just find it interesting what intense problems people have with certain things. This I'm really fond of. This is a project I did with the school children, 6-7 years old, from my village where I come from. And I had an exhibition in the nearer town, and I had a museum show there. And the school teacher took the school kids to see my exhibition. And they all became complete fans of my work. And they all wanted to do something about my work. And so the school teacher had an idea to call my mother, to ask my mother to come in and talk about me. And I said, Mom, don't go. I'm going to think about something. I'm actually want to go. And it really intrigued me, and I thought it was so sweet and so life-affirming and really lovely. And I said, you can tell the teacher that I'm coming, because they wanted to visit my mom in our house. And I said, don't tell the children that I'm actually flying over to meet them in my children's room where I grew up. So they came, said hello to my mom and everything like that. And then they went up to the house, and I was sitting there waiting for them. And they could not believe it. They were screaming and everything like that. And I started to do a photo project with them. And it was actually their idea to restage my work. And I was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding. This is genius. That's what they did. This is Lea Seydoux, and they redid the pictures. And the funniest thing was, this is Lars Eidinger, is a German actor. So I did this picture, and then the two kids went there with the teacher, and the kids started to undress him. And the school teacher said, no, you can't do that. Let's just do it like this. And then the school teacher made a video and interviewed them about me. Juergen Teller came up with something quite special there. Other photographers would never do that. Actually, it isn't even ugly. You just think it is, because you're not used to it, and so on. And then this one is brilliant. The kid says, you have to think about it for quite a long time till you realize that it's actually pretty. And it's so profound what these 6-7-year-old kids were talking, and it really moved me. It was wonderful working with them. This is all handbags.
Mais non, ah ouais.
I published a book called Handbags in 2019, and it was so successful that even more clients asked me to photograph handbags. So I published a new book called More Handbags.
His wife and very close collaborator Dovile Drizit is of course a recurrent subject.
I love this picture. I love all the pictures actually. I kind of wanted to give a key to my brain and to my thoughts, and I want to give the viewer a kind of a key to understand my work. So it kind of starts from the beginning, because Dovile is so important to me, for my work now and for my life. that I wanted to have her early into the exhibition. That's why she comes in earlier.
There's a lot of depth in the work, and I'm very privileged to be able to work with him, that he asked me to work with him. He's a very good-natured man, yes, very kind and thoughtful and with a lot of talent.
The last big part of the exhibition is about Iggy Pop with a twist. This series super personal, Deauville and Juergen in an Italian hotel, in every room, legs in the air, making sure to get pregnant, and fertility signs everywhere.
There's all these little signs of mother and child.
Fertility?
1, 2, 3, like a little pony. And then there's a nativity scene. It's really beautiful.
Pregnancy and a baby was born.
This is where we got found out we're pregnant. I was reading the Financial Times, the lines of beauty, and here's the line: life and arts.
What's the baby's name?
Iggy.
C'est pas vrai? Ah wow, that's a good name for a baby.
Yes.
No pressure. Do what you want.
This is a celebration we did in Sicily for Iggy. It's completely crazy.
They touch him like he's a sacred being.
Well, he is. I really love this picture.
Why?
Because it's so peaceful and strange, sleeping, and it's so unusual for a baby photograph. Basically, I did this cover for Document magazine. And when the magazine found out that Iggy is called after Iggy, they said they want to have her on the cover as well and a story inside. And I thought, oh, I can't do this. This is ridiculous. Everybody has cute pictures of their babies, and I would just look ridiculous. It took me like 2 months to think about what to do. And then it came to me, Iggy Teller does Teller, restaging what other people consider my iconic photographs. So this is Kim Kardashian, that's Iggy. Saint Laurent ad, Iggy, and so on and so on.
You see that dream come true. Yeah, it was like a fantasy in our mind.
What are you the most proud of in this exhibition?
Oh, my wife.
Me? No, there are many other things. Don't get too emotional. There are a lot of good things.
I love the walls.
I think just the idea is very good. And how we imagined it came together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and better maybe than we thought with the help of everyone who joined us. It's
We worked together for a very long time with Thomas Wesky, who's also here, and Tom Emerson, who's the architect. And he built my studio in London. And we worked a lot of how to compose this huge space and what to do with the space and come up with something.
This was my Juergen Teller retrospective I Need to Leave report. Parisians, Parisiennes! The exhibition is until January 9, 2024 at the Grand Palais Ephémère, metro station École Militaire on line 8. There's of course a catalogue of the exhibition. Make sure to subscribe and watch all my other fashion videos and my series about the Louvre Museum. Comment Iggy forever if you got till the end. Cheers!